Quote, "You can't have faith in a non-belief system. Atheism is based on evidence. Show me God exists, and I'll believe. Oh, you can't, as he doesn't." End quote. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. Atheism versus Christianity. The great debate continues here today on Answering Atheism, AA, episode 101. Our second set of 100 has begun. I am your host, Christian Guy for you. I like atheists, but I really love militant atheists. So, anyhow, we could talk about this one forever. My goodness. You can't have faith in a non-belief system. He spelled non as none, which is kind of funny. Not the Catholic type of none, but that would be even funnier. You can't have faith in a non-belief system. Atheism is based on evidence. What evidence? Doesn't evidence kind of indicate that there's some sort of core tenets, positions, linchpins that are believed upon to confirm with evidence? Something like that. Show me God exists and I'll believe. I doubt it. This is often a submission issue, not a evidence-based issue. Massive implications whether God exists or not. Massive implications upon one's life. Show me God exists and I'll believe. Oh, you can't, as he doesn't. He says. So let me get this straight. You're asking to be shown God exists when God is an immaterial being. Do you see a problem there? Wanting to see an immaterial being. And then asking for the evidence. Wanting to be shown immaterial. You don't believe in the immaterial. He says he'll believe. You won't believe. You won't believe because of the implications. Oh, you can't, as he doesn't. Wait a second. Hold up. You just said you can't have faith in a non-belief system. And you just went on to say that God doesn't exist. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Actually, the interesting thing about this sort is saying no faith, non-belief system, trying to cop out of knowledge positions, and then the irony is depositing the position, the knowledge claim, the belief that God does not exist. Think about the massive implications if that were indeed true. Think about the implications. Then it would just be man deciding right or wrong. And what does it imply? What does it imply? Him giving the knowledge claim. Him giving the knowledge claim that God does not exist. All right, that's another step higher on atheism. Rather than just saying non-belief to affirming God does not exist. What does it imply? He's aiming towards truth. Is truth material or immaterial? Is it outside of yourself? I dished out all this without my notes. Well, except for all the introductory stuff, the new introductory stuff. So he's wanting to set himself up as the judge, himself as the highest standard, not God. That's a problem. Ultimately, that's a problem. Because he's not the standard. The standard's outside of himself. And if you start as yourself as the standard, that's going to be problematic. God declares A, B, C. Okay. Not, I'm going to decide A, B, C. It's a starting point ordeal. And yeah, show you proof of an immaterial being. That's like asking to be shown a square circle. If you wanted to see God, you're around 2,000 years late. God in the flesh, I'm referring to. Faith. This is that totem post where atheists, evolutionists like to think of themselves higher on the totem pole and just trash, mock, scoff for 150, 170 years. The Christian side. Mocking, scoffing is not discussion, debate. Let's discuss casually. Let's debate casually. Faith. You do have worlds of faith. Faith is trust. You have faith in what man is telling you. You're accepting and rejecting different things based upon what you want to believe because of the implications, because of that which you want to do that you ought not do. So this is this faith is a non-concedable point by your side because you want the superiority perception to not be on a level playing field. Some even saying don't even discuss with Christians. Don't even discuss. Don't even give them the ground to discuss. Or else you lend them an inch of credibility. Come on. You trust every day many different things. Romans 1:6 says, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth." How on earth? I didn't fathom, God before I was saved. It's just a mind boggler. The things of this world just have you occupied and distracted from what really counts in the end. But yeah, you trust things every day. You trust your food, many other things. What about non-belief? He says he's without belief. Do you believe you have no belief in your worldview? Seems to be that falls into some inconsistency. As I said, it's kind of a cop-out into no knowledge position. The Christian takes up the knowledge positions, and then you just scoff and mock and undermine. And you just sit back. Well, put up some knowledge positions. You don't know God does not exist. You don't know that. You just haven't seen him. Immaterial being. You don't know that. You can't see everywhere all at once. Let alone immaterial. So don't give me the bologna sandwich of you don't believe things. You certainly do believe things and have faith in certain things. You believe that feminists, due to gravity and or weight, won't just take off into the air, that things are going to remain consistent. You believe that. You have faith that that's going to be the case. Not that we're weight phobic or anything. Romans 19 through 21. Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Just a quick list of evidence, if you want it, I suppose. Creation, aka nature. Something essentially had to exist to bring about existence. We ourselves were required upon an existence to bring us about. So, space, time, matter, God being a trinity within Christianity. It's fingerprints. It's fingerprints. Space, time, matter. Those are the fingerprints. It's revealing himself. How about dinosaurs with man? The Ica stones. How about secular account of Genesis? The nation that persecutes Christians in their own history, ancient history. The ancient Chinese pictographs depict the story of Genesis, preserved in their language from after the Tower of Babel. How about the Chinese deity or ancestral worship figure, Nuwa, aka Noah of the Bible? Preserved. Somewhat, at least. How about women? No man will ever understand them fully. You can do all the science you want. They are marvelous. Such a wonder. Very beautiful. Then there's NDEs. Those are fascinating. Near-death experiences. Those are very, very fascinating. We could go on and on. There's also aliens as demons. That's another fascinating topic that you can look into. So, it's not about the evidence. It's about submission issue. So, I guess we can reach our conclusion. Why don't you ask for forgiveness and ask God to save you? Forgiveness from sin, of sin, and to be saved, forgiven and saved. Place your trust upon the Savior. Jesus died 2,000 years ago. So, and then we'll just end with a quote. Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, Mao, Idi Amin, Castro, Pol Pot, all these monsters began by confiscating private firearms, then literally soaking the earth with the blood of tens and tens of millions of their people. There can be no free speech, no freedom of the press, no freedom to protest, no freedom to worship your God, no freedom to speak your mind, no freedom from fear, no freedom for your children and for theirs, for anybody, anywhere, without the Second Amendment freedom to fight for it. Charlton Heston. Good quote. Great quote. We managed to wing this for around the 5-minute mark of what I have always been aiming for. But then we went through the notes. So it would be interesting to just wing these. 5 minutes apiece, crank them out. That would be amazing. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you next time for 102. So I'll see you, Ed. Take it cool.